Hi and Assalamualaikum Sir Razman. We are from Group 4, which is called Beauty and the Beast, and for now, we will be presenting the sustainability report of Sime Darby Plantation Berhad. So here is the list of all the group members. The report outline was divided into 4 parts, starting with introduction, discussions, recommendations, and lastly, conclusions.
The sustainability report discusses a concerning situation on climate change that will affect their plantation over a variety of time horizons, as well as specific mitigation actions in accordance with their mission and target to sustain their plantation. They also publish a guideline on employee health and safety as they begin to implement few procedures in maintaining good hygiene detection and isolation procedures, better communications and briefing, and prevention programs also, where this helps to manage the company during the COVID-19 pandemic that occurs globally. They also develop and launch the Crosscheck platform, a free-to-use digital tool that tracks the origin of FFB and CPO in the supply chain across all landscapes in which they operate. As of December 2021, it will cover all of their business units as well as their 1,105 mills that supplies them. Crosscheck also provide shape files of their estates and smallholders who supply their operation in PNG and the Solomon Islands.
The Sustainability Report by Sime Darby Plantation (SDP) in 2021 has reported 3 main issues that will influence the SDP to achieve sustainability goals in the future. The first matter is climate change affecting oil palm harvesting speed. The changing weather patterns is causing extreme rainfall in Malaysia, leading to floods in Peninsular Malaysia. Next, the rising global temperature. The increasing temperature from 1 to 2 degrees Celsius is causing the oil palm harvest rate to drop to 40% in 2021. Lastly, the increase in customers' requirements for sustainability commitments, mainly deforestation. Next, SDP was facing severe occupational safety and health issues in 2021. First, the COVID-19 pandemic caused SDP to encounter a severe labor shortage, and the Movement Control Operation (MCO) leads to a 23% workforce reduction. In 2021, SDP experienced an upsurge of 36% in workers' fatality and accidents in 2019. In 2021, SDP reported about 7 fatalities and 6 permanent disabilities. Lastly, traceability and transparency, and SDP needed to trace the remaining 4.6% to the mile due to indirect suppliers' inability to adopt supplying miles. After understanding the main issues SDP faces, we will have a deep discussion to investigate more. Sufficient studies by researchers indicate climate change will influence the oil palm yields. For example, Colley and Tinkle explained that the rising precipitation over the years will cause an extreme moisturization to destroy the root. Not only that, they also indicate that global warming is harming the oil palm. Meanwhile, customers are also concerned about the environment, sources of health and sustainable living. 73% of customers agree that protecting the environment is vital to the company. Hence, sufficient studies indicate climate change is a fact that affects sustainability as SDP relies on it. According to the World Bank, the OSH of workers in the oil palm industry is a challenge to the future sustainability of this industry. Not only that, coronavirus is threatening workers' health, but many studies also mention other infectious diseases such as dengue that the organization should put eyes on it. The fatalities and accidents in Malaysia in this industry increased by 3.19%, and it is also concerning to have the organization under reports 53.18%. Lastly, traceability of the supply chain is challenging because managing global supply chains to agreeable standards takes time. Thus, Jensen said formal systems should be constructed to improve traceability.
Now onto the discussion of the issues highlighted. First, we have climate change. Climate change has a significant implication for where oil palm is grown, as the locations of areas for growing oil palm will shift over the 21st century. Rainy locations such as Malaysia are at the most significant risk of loss of oil palm yield because the essential factor in determining oil palm yield is the water availability in the soil. Thus, the change in weather, particularly the acceleration of raindrops, will prevent SDP to fall from failing to sustain its business. Next, we have occupational safety and health. In 2021, the global is suffering from the COVID-19 pandemic, which is causing SDP to be in danger of insufficient migrant workers and requires an immediate plan to protect their workers from the infection of coronavirus. In accordance to the Department of Statistics Malaysia, they recorded a rate of 1.0 fatal accidents per 100 workers in the agriculture, forestry, and fishing sector. Fatalities in agriculture, forestry, and fishing sectors are recorded for almost 50 workers. And lastly, we have sustainable supply chain. SDP also strive to ensure the traceability of supplies. However, it could be a challenge due to the managing global supply chains to agreeable standards is difficult. Now onto the actions taken. First, we have climate change. The actions taken for the changing in weather patterns. In the immediate term, the operations have already begun to implement mitigation actions at high-risk areas for flooding. Example includes the building of bunds in flood-prone areas and water bodies for water catchment in areas experiencing droughts. For increase in temperature, the group's R&D team is currently undertaking its own internal study to stimulate and validate the effect of temperature rise on yields and generate additional scientific data. Lastly, for increase in customer requirements, the group has already embarked on its decarbonization journey since 2012. The key efforts include the reduction of SDP's operational emissions through its renewable initiatives. Next, for occupational safety and health, the action taken for management of the COVID-19 pandemic was that they ensured that good hygiene was maintained. The detection and isolation procedure were kept tight, communications and briefings were rather conducted regularly, and prevention programs were set. Next, for the fatalities, the zero harm culture was introduced. Corrective actions have been taken and stricter safety measures are implemented for high-risk tasks. Lastly, for sustainable supply chain, the actions taken to maintain a sustainable supply chain was that in 2019, Crosscheck platform was developed and launched. Crosscheck also includes external supplies shapefiles, which are only for SDP's internal use and not shared publicly. In 2020, the program was upgraded to Crosscheck 2.0. The update included some technical improvements, and the platform now provides extra layers of information, including details about grievances against actors in our supply chain.
For the recommendation, first recommendation is changing weather patterns. Instead of expanding the lead band or upstream, the group has increased the productivity downstream through business expansion. And the company is of the opinion that if it decarbonates its operation to meet needs of the potential client in the future, it will lose customer and incur more expenses. The Sandabi came to the conclusion that increased customer requirement have the greatest long-term impact and maturity. Sandabi's Plantation is the recommend to improve waste collection and disposal to improve drain in addition to build bunds in flood-prone area and water body for water catchment in flood-prone area. The dumping of the water is likely to clog drain system and contribute to the flooding in the area if Sandabi Plantation does not have adequate waste collection and disposal system. Next, start taking blue-green infrastructure like red gardens, biowells, and natural retain ponds for constrict the path river surface. These are planted or marshal dispersion that slow down filter and allow rainwater from the rooftop and street to penetrate the soil. In addition, they provide a cost-effective and efficient method for increasing permeability when they are instead allow roadside at the curbside by utilizing native water-wise plant and capture runoff tree vegetation may be able to starten and save money on watering. Second is increase in temperature. According to the most recent research, a yield decrease of 10% to 41% would result from an increase in temperature of 1 to 4 degrees. The group's R&D team is currently conducting its own internal study to stimulate and validate the effect of temperature rise on yields and generate additional scientific data due to the contractual nature of the version study review. Consider this, we recommend Sandabi to ensure that one of their raw material contribute to tropical deforestation or the depletion of peatlands. In other words, motion towards the market guarantees to supportability and social obligation. In addition, it will lead the adjustment in process through the entire supply chains, right down to oil plantation. Increase demand from customer. Since 2012, the group has been beginning its journey towards decarbonization through its renewable incentive method capture solar. SDP operational emission can be reduced, which is one of the primary effort and solution based on nature. Effort to implement the non-dispersion, no peer, and no expectation, compare standard, and improve traceability through the global supply chains of the group. Forestation, sustainability, forest management, and reducing deforestation are the most cost-efficient for certain mitigation options. Through their relative improvement vary greatly by the region. Malaysia has the designated some of the natural forest land as a protected and reserve forest. Declare the climate change protection. There are sufficient plain dispersed contribute land in Malaysia to closely affected afforestation, dispersion, and meteorology range service. Next, there are a lot different options for mitigation to this review discrimination. In Malaysia, agroforestry practice combine forest species, agriculture, crops, livestock, and agriculture with agriculture, civil pests, and agroforestry. In Malaysia, agroforestry diploma was primarily focused on the commercial application. In the 1920s, rubber trees were planted in coffee plantation in Malaysia to begin commercial application by 1940s.
Moving on, enhancing occupational safety and health performance. There are several recommendations for COVID-19 pandemic. First and foremost, maintain good hygiene. The company maintain good hygiene by regularly disinfecting spraying in all factories, office, and employees' quarters. The company implement regular provision of hand sanitizer, soap, and masks to employees. Installation of hand washing station at appropriate location in the company's operation. Furthermore, procedures for detection and isolation. The company entities monitoring at the entry points to the company plantation and mills, including temperature checks, a requirement for face masks, and a check to see if visitor has received their vaccination and following MKN. Furthermore, boundary lines are marked on floors to remind employees to keep a safe social distance. Finally, adopting work from home policy for corporate office, reducing the numbers of employees on site and the numbers of employees working in groups. Other than the company's implementation, our group encouraged the company to provide a monthly medical checkup for the employees. Not only it can detect the early signs of COVID-19, but it also includes a combination of tests designed to give employees an overview of their health status of their employees. This allows employees to improve their physical health and endurance and take steps towards a healthier lifestyle. As for fatalities and accidents, our group suggests the company to develop an offline mobile application. By developing an offline mobile application, the employees can report any accidents and casualties on site or in office. The mobile application allows the employees to report and record anytime, anywhere without internet connection. By developing this application, it can boost not only employees' safety but also contractor safety. As for recommendation for ensuring a sustainable supply chain, firstly, monitoring risk within the supply chain to evaluate third-party and SDP owners, suppliers for the danger of deforestation and peat clearance. The company combine internal and external evaluation methodologies. Through satellite monitoring, detection system like Earth Equalizer platform and radar alerts for detection deforestation, SDP is informed of any possible deforestation. Its product SDP with bi-monthly internal updates on possible instances of peat clearance and deforestation. RADD is a crucial part of the company's deforestation alert system in 2021. Furthermore, assessing risk and supplier engagement. Every quarter, the company evaluates the risk level of their suppliers to inform their engagement strategies. Mills with different risk level are ones where breaches have been found and are identified them as a medium risk mills unless it is confirmed that they are free of high risk activities. Suppliers with low risk status are mills where no suspicious conduct has been found. Every month, the company gives all high-risk suppliers top priorities to ensure compliance and investigate additional conformance. The company recognized 2% of their suppliers as high risk in 2021 and have started communicating with them. In accordance with their draw the line policy, the suppliers are required to take corrective action in the event of a verified violation. The company has the policy of removing them from their supply chain if the supplier refuses to apply these procedures.
And lastly, as for the conclusion, the global impact of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2021 hampered the functioning of Sime Darby Plantation as SDP faced a labour crisis in Malaysia. Malaysia's migrant workforce declined by 5,100 in 2021 compared to 2020. SDP also reported 6 permanent disabilities across its upstream, downstream, and research and development operations. Sime Darby Plantation anticipates that protecting natural resources and recognizing the danger posed by climate change are vital to the company's future success. The group of people has identified a few short-term and long-term climate change hazards. These include that since 2012, the group has been on a decarbonization path. The major activities include reducing SDP's operational emission through renewable initiatives, sequestering carbon through nature-based solutions, and conservation and replanting efforts throughout the group. Sime Darby has also taken the initiative to carefully handle the COVID-19 pandemic with the fact that it prioritizes more now on the health and safety of their employees. The corporation believes that if it decarbonizes its operation in the future to fulfill the expectation of potential clients, it will lose consumers and suffer more costs. So to improve drainage, Sime Darby Plantation is advised to improve waste collection and disposal. So that is it for the sustainability report of Sime Darby Plantation Berhad. We are from Group Beauty and the Beast. Thank you.